Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to Mondays Are For the Nerds.
Your nerdy news podcast where we recap last week's nerdy news that happened. I'm your co-host, Jay Wright.
And I'm your other co-host, Tristan Stump.
How you been?
Been all right. How about you?
Tired.
Same.
For reasons we won't get into.
Also very tired, but a good tired.
Yeah, good tired. Did you do anything this week?
I actually did quite a bit this week.
Nice.
Even though I did work quite a bit this week for both jobs, I managed to have, there was one day where I was sick, so I got that whole lot day to do whatever. But I've been trying to beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I thought I was going to have to start it over because I'm working on my PS5, but I went back on my PS4 and uploaded my save from that, and it worked out. So I only played an hour of it starting over before I was like, I think I can just do my old save, so I'm not having to work another 5 hours to get to where I was. Yeah. And so now I'm on chapter 8 or 9. I don't know how many chapters there are, but when I started, I was in the middle of chapter 4.
Oh, so you doubled.
So I've doubled my progress, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've played the original up to a certain point. I need to beat the original, but I've played everything that Remake and Rebirth covers. I have played. So I wanted to play Remake so I could potentially get Rebirth in the future, and then get the whole experience of playing this remake. And so I did that. I also played another game we'll talk about later for a little bit. I didn't get a whole lot of time with it because I was playing an RPG, so and then I got another game that is also an RPG that I quickly decided I need to wait until I have more. I need to wait till I need to move on to dedicate more time to it. I am still playing Mario, Luigi, and Zelda. I'm gonna get back to those, but right now I got my PS5. I'm gonna use it. I beat Epic Mickey, so now I'm
Spider-Man 2.
Maybe someday. I don't have Spider-Man 2 right now, but anyway, I talked about it a couple weeks or maybe a couple months ago. I think it came out in September. But Bloomtown, a different story. It's about what's funny is I read the description here and I completely forgot about what the setting was because I pull it up. I'm like, oh yeah, we talked about this a couple months ago. I'll buy it. It was on sale, so I bought it, and I'm like, okay, and I completely forgot it was set in the 60s. Going by the music, I'm like, oh, this must be the 80s. I knew it wasn't set in the current day. Yeah. I'm like, oh, going by the music, this must be the 80s. Anyway, and then I started to think, well, this can't be right. The 80s can't be right when the grandpa gave me 80 cents to go buy butter and it only cost me 30 cents. And then
inflation doesn't work this way.
And then later, a character asked me a question about the World Series, and they talk about the 1960 World Series as if it was only a few years ago. I'm like, oh, it's set during the 60s. But yeah, I was sitting there thinking, what's a good time period? What is a time period where it makes sense that you're spending summer with your grandpa, but the grandpa's also just go out and do whatever, stay out of my hair, and then you're just be back home by 10. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, 80s, that makes sense. That's probably the last decade where that was probably
2013.
Well, yeah, all those adventures we went on.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is what I did this week. How about you? What did you do this week?
I started and Squirrel with a Gun, and I beat it last night.
Yes.
I think it was last night. Yeah, I beat it last night.
Yep. Short game, but it's also a game you're supposed to just mess around in anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's so fun. I told you this. It's fun in a way that Astrobot cannot be, where this is just mindless, pointless fun. You're literally a squirrel with multiple guns. And I was dying through it. I loved it. I loved it so much. Every single time we get one of those actions where the special action to kill someone with each weapon. Mm-hmm. It's dying. My mom was watching it. She's like, "This is so funny." It's so good.
So I haven't seen much of the game. All I know is the cutscene where you first get the gun and the agent's like, no.
There's a scene where this guy comes. You run around the neighborhood, and this guy comes out in a tank, and the back of his shirt says "Daddy," but the character's name is Father. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. It's just mindless fun. You go around grabbing the golden acorns.
A goal is to make a game like that with like that humor. Just like, even if it's not
Turn your
exactly a
brain
game
off.
like that. I don't know what the gameplay would be, but I want to make a game that people are like, no, this is funny.
Yeah. It's like, there's no point to it.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. It's so fun. And then I started Epic Mickey.
Ooh, what you think so
I
far?
didn't get too far into it.
Did
I got through
you? Did you leave the castle at least?
I left the castle. I did the beanstalk thing, and then I think it's like you jump back through the thing.
Yeah, you jump back through the beanstalk into It's a Small World.
Okay, then I'm right there
All
because
right.
I just jumped out of the beanstalk.
Okay.
And then I'm like, it's getting late. I got to wake up in the morning for
Yeah.
what I'm going to talk about later.
Yeah.
And that's it. I liked it.
You liked it so far?
I liked it so far.
It's definitely, I think I talked about this when I talked about it last week, I think is when I talked about beating it.
You said something about like I'm going to get frustrated in parts where I got frustrated at Astrobot.
Yeah, there's probably going to be parts you're going to get frustrated, but only because it's like the game wants you. Specifically, there's some bosses where the game's like, you can figure it out. And I'm sitting here like,
No, I
No, I
can't.
can't.
No, I can't.
But yeah, no, it's a really good game. Really,
Yeah.
the remake definitely makes it. It is one of the few times where I've seen a remake that isn't something like, because Final Fantasy remake is a remake, but it's also a reimagining.
Yeah.
This is a remake. This is where they just took as few, or like they took some of the few original assets they could, and then they just rebuilt everything from the ground up.
Yeah.
But it's basically the same game.
Yeah.
This is that, but like it actually made the game better. And there's very few that aren't just, oh, this is just the game with a new coat of paint. No, this is like they improved everything.
I'm liking it.
So it's
Oh, I know what part I'm at. You get out of thing and you have to paint the gears.
yeah.
That's I haven't painted the gears yet.
So you going the paint route so far, or have you thinned some stuff?
I've thinned some stuff.
You thinned some stuff because there is
Oh wait, no, I don't think I've thinned anything.
there's
like,
kind of a
everything.
good, and it doesn't affect the game too much, but there is a good and bad route. You can either paint, like if you thin some stuff, the game requires you, but if you like paint
Yeah.
or thin, there are certain spots the game will be like, if you paint or thin this, it's going to change the course of
I
what
haven't
we
gotten
do.
anything there yet,
And so
but-
you can choose to do both.
I'm leaving things painted.
But yeah, so you can either do all paint, all thinner, or a mix of both, and each is a different ending.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so glad you're liking it,
I'm
because
liking
that is a childhood favorite.
Yep. That's gonna be my thing, and then I'll probably go back to Valhalla. I gotta play Outlaws at some point. I don't want to, but I have to.
Let me play it. I'll play it for you.
But I need to get. Honestly, don't remember where I'm at.
Apparently, there's a story pack with Lando that came out,
I did
or
see
is
they're also
coming
taking away stealth.
out.
They're taking away like mandatory stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be
Is this in your
straightforward.
miscellaneous?
This is not my miscellaneous. I
Okay.
completely forgot to write down the stuff I saw about our Outlaws, but there was a major update to Outlaws that kind of fixed some issues.
I know the biggest thing was they're taking away the mandatory stealth.
Yeah, the
Which that's a lot of where I'm like, oh, I liked doing stealth, but even then, playing that, I was like, for the short time I did,
There's very,
I
very
was like,
few
come
games I've played where the stealth is actually fun. Obviously, Assassin's Creed is made to be stealthy. Spider-Man
Yeah.
stealth is just top
Oh,
tier.
yeah.
Spider-Man
Oh, yeah.
stealth is better than
I prefer to
Assassin's
do-
Creed stealth to
because
me.
you just like crawl along the ceiling. I prefer doing that than just
Hot take,
fighting.
I hate the stealth stuff. And not hate, maybe hate's a strong word. I strongly dislike the stealth stuff in the Batman Arkham games.
See, I need to finish
They
replaying those.
they get so annoying for me so fast where I'm like, just do the thing I want you to do so I can take you out without getting shot.
yeah,
you know, and-
exactly.
yeah. Particularly, only one in Arkham Asylum frustrated me, and I haven't played Arkham Knight, but Arkham City, there were a few where I was just like, this is ridiculous.
Especially when you get to the point where there's snipers everywhere and you got to glide across and there's no way you can like avoid them
Yeah.
unless you just.
So, anyway.
That's all I did apart from today. Should I get my releases this week?
Yes, sir.
On the movie side of things, on the VOD/digital on Saturday, November 23rd, 3 Wiser Men and a Baby released. The Brenner brothers are back and putting on a holiday pageant for young Thomas while trying to cope with life's curveballs, including their mom's new boyfriend. In theaters on Friday, November 22nd, we got Bonhoeffer, I think is how you say it. When a pacifist is called to a political act that could change the course of history, a man of honor responds. This is the true story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a man who preached love while plotting the assassination of an evil tyrant, set during World War II. Got the limited release of Armor, tasked with delivering a suspicious package. A father and son duo of armored truck drivers must outwit and outgun a team of thieves while trapped on a bridge. We got the limited release of Flow, which I really want to see. Cat is a solitary animal, but as its home is devastated by a great flood, he finds refuge on a boat populated by various species and will have to team up with them despite their differences. I think it's from Latvia, but it's getting fantastic reviews. So it's like foreign, but also like not a lot of dialogue.
Isn't it already? People are like, oh yeah, this is an Oscar nom right here.
Oh, it's absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On streaming, on Wednesday, November 20th, we got the release of The Merry Gentleman on Netflix. We're back with some Netflix Christmas movies. To save her parents' small-town nightclub, a Broadway dancer stages an all-male Christmas-themed revue and gets a guy with all the right moves. On Friday, November 22nd, we got the release of Blitz on Apple TV+, as well as the Netflix release of the Piano Lesson. Listen back to our previous episodes to get the synopses on that when they had a limited release. On Netflix, also released Spellbound. When a powerful spell turns her parents into giant monsters, a teenage princess must journey into the wild to reverse the curse before it's too late. And Out of My Mind came out on Disney+. Melody Brooks is navigating 6th grade as a nonverbal wheelchair user who has cerebral palsy. With the help of some assistive technology and her devoted, exuberant allies, Melody shows that what she has to say is more important than how she says it. And the two biggest releases this week, I won't say runner-up to Barbenheimer, the next thing after Barbenheimer, we got the Glicked release. Is that the official name of it? That's what I've been saying all day. Gladiator 2 and Wicked came out. The synopses. On Gladiator 2, years after witnessing the death of Maximus at the hands of his uncle, Lucius must enter the Colosseum after the powerful emperors of Rome conquer his home. With rage in his heart and the future of the empire at stake, he looks to the past to find the strength and honor needed to return the glory of Rome to its people. And for all non-theater kids out there, the Wicked synopsis goes, misunderstood because of her green skin, a young woman named Elphaba forges an unlikely but profound friendship with Galinda, a student with an unflinching desire for popularity. Following an encounter with the Wizard of Oz, their relationship soon reaches a crossroad as their lives begin to take very different paths. Obviously based off the Broadway musical. I did pull a doubleheader today and see it with my mom.
I will be watching Wicked tomorrow, so
yeah.
We'll get, once again,
the next week.
Thoughts will come the next week. My thoughts for Wild Robot never came because I never got time to go see it. Yeah.
Oh no.
So I have to wait for it to come to streaming.
I'll start with Gladiator 2. That's what we went to see first. On the Jay's ranking meter based off vibes, I give it an awesome.
An awesome?
Awesome, which equates to probably about like 4 out of 5. The action was awesome. Of course, a lot of it, they're in the trailers, has to do with like animals, the action. So like I was there equally as like terrified because I'm like, I know what animals can do in real life.
Yeah.
The baboon scene, which you get a snippet of in the trailer, I was like, ooh, dang. Because I know apes can like go wild. I give it a 4 out of 5 because Pedro Pascal, for being like second billing, I wouldn't say didn't have much to do. Where I was like, he's kind of the villain, but kind of not. I don't know what the race is looking like for best supporting actor in any of the awards. But my God, if Denzel doesn't get a nomination, Denzel is the best part of that movie. Amazing. Not that any of it's bad, but Denzel is fantastic. I feel like in the same vein as the way I liked Penguin, like Denzel's always like 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Playing mind games to get what he wants. I did notice the cafe scene. And I seen that every morning. I'm like, okay, he's obviously reading from a paper. And he's like, even folded it like a paper where it's like, you can see half of it on like the folded back. And I'm like, okay, come on. It was a good time. It was a good time. Good action. I like the set pieces. Fantastic production design. That better get up because Ridley Scott basically rebuilt Rome.
In a day?
No, 2. Half of 1.
But no, all I'm saying is if we can have a suspension of disbelief for the Flintstones, I think we can go, okay, he's reading a newspaper. Why not?
Yeah. You know what really made me mad about that movie, though?
What?
Wrong species of rhino.
The wrong species.
They didn't have sharks in the Colosseum.
They could have caught them.
They could have caught them.
They could have caught. They had nets. They fished.
I was like,
You ever read the Bible? They fished.
It's like big old sharks too. I was watching the whole like boat scene in the Coliseum with the sharks, and all I could think of was like, how do they get those out? Do they just let them flop on the sand after they drain the water? How do they get the sharks out of there? Can't send the people there.
They
They'll
don't.
go after them.
They don't.
Just let them die. They'll go catch some more.
Yeah.
After that, we saw Wicked, which was arguably the one I was more excited for. I was like excited for both of them, but like being a theater kid,
Arguably, Wicked is the blockbuster of the holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no offense to Gladiator 2 or anything, but Wicked is
Moana,
like,
yeah.
or Moana 2. But Wicked is like the one where you've got all sorts of. Moana 2 is exciting for families specifically.
because you can go take your kids there and just.
But Wicked is, you got the theater kids.
You got the
You
music.
got musical fans.
You got Ariana Grande fans.
You got, yeah. And then you have families.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, try to think of one, wine moms.
No. Oh, I was so excited because like Wicked was like the first professional theater show I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always Wicked's always kind of like a special place. I loved it. Can I just inject like Dancing Through Life into my veins right now? You saw me like mouthing it before we were recording.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I almost cried 5 times through this movie just because I was like watching it, especially Defying Gravity.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyone who knows Defying Gravity, I sent a Snapchat. You see my snaps?
Yeah. And all caps, you're like, you and I.
So Braxton saw that and he goes, spoiler. And I'm like, anyone who knows Wicked knows Defying Gravity. That's arguably the song from it.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I thought you were spoiling Gladiator 2. I'm like, that's how far removed from theater he is. He has
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah. And Gladiator 2,
They're defying gravity.
Let's see, Maximus and what's another character's
Lucius.
name? Maximus and Lucius just start singing Defying Gravity.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is a weird cross promotion, but okay.
Exactly. Hey.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, rhinos charging through Oz into the Emerald City. Cowardly lions fighting in the Coliseum.
I'll never forget the part of was it Shakespeare that has a Caesar play? Is it Shakespeare?
Yeah, I think Julius Caesar. Yeah.
Never forget Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, where Caesar died, and then all the Romans came out. Were like, "Ding dong, the witch is dead."
He's stabbed by all the flying monkeys.
At 2 Tin Man.
Oh, Wicked is just—it's so good. It's so good. I'm so excited for part 2. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't feel it.
You don't feel it?
You don't really feel
because
it.
the musical itself is 2 hours and 45 minutes,
Yeah.
I think. So it's like
Yeah. The scene, it didn't like take
they
away from
probably
anything.
pull a little more from the book to give it.
Oh,
a little,
they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. No, it's so good. I'm so excited for number 2. I'm probably going to see this again. Maybe I'm going to see Gladiator 2 again next week. On the TV side of things, on Sunday, November 17th, we got the series premiere of Dune Prophecy, which is its 3rd week in a row on the pod on HBO. Landman premiered on Paramount Plus. On Tuesday, November 19th, we got the season 3 premiere of Night Court on NBC. Wednesday, November 20th, saw the 58th annual CMA Awards. Thursday, November 21st, saw the series premiere of Cruel Intentions on Amazon Prime. It's the season 3 premiere of Sex Lives of College Girls on Max, and the season 2 of Based on a True Story on Peacock. Friday, November 22nd, saw the season 7B premiere of Outlander on Starz, and Saturday, November 13th, saw the season 2C, i.e. the final act of Arcane, releasing on Netflix. Then our music side of things, just real quick, on the Christmas Day Ravens vs. Texans NFL game, Beyonce will be performing in the halftime show. And that's all I got for releases / music news.
My releases this week, on November 18th, we had Arcane Wilds on PC from Avancadia. It entered early access. Arcane Wilds is a Western-themed fantasy RTS with a unique twist on resource management. Gather, steal, and transport resources to use them in battle strategically. Embark on a new journey, survive missions, face mystical creatures in battle, and loot treasures to build and upgrade your home island. Once Alive on PC from devs Kim Bore Yildirim, I think is how that's supposed to be pronounced, and publisher Game Dev List, or Game Dev Ist, a story-driven first-person adventure game offering a cinematic experience. Embark on a journey to Houseville, an abandoned settlement in a post-apocalyptic world. Explore your surroundings and uncover the mystery behind the disappearance of the last survivors. And Skyguard Arena On PC from Gemelli Games, entered early access. Lead your team to victory in this fast-paced tactical RPG. Choose champions with unique abilities to create your own strategy. Dash, teleport, and unleash game-changing combos on every turn. Complete challenging missions to save Skyguard in the campaign or fight against other players in the arena. On November 19th, we had Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on PC and Xbox from Asobo Studio and Xbox. Explore the world with our largest fleet of aircraft and take simulation to new heights while pursuing your aviation career within Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Unfortunately, I have heard that it is terrible.
No.
A buggy mess.
No. Shit, I've never played a flight simulator.
Yeah, I have some friends who like to play it, so
Yeah.
just stick with 2020 is what I've heard. Just skip
it'll
this
be
one.
good.
Yeah. We also got My Sims Cozy Bundle on Nintendo Switch from Electronic Arts. Make adorable friends and discover creative adventures across retro re-releases of 2 lovable games in My Sims Cozy Bundle. Use your imagination to rebuild a town in My Sims and help a cute magical land become an even better place in My Sims Kingdom. There are stories to uncover, locations to explore, and lots of characters with big personalities to meet. Rediscover the charm of 2 classic My Sims games now on Nintendo Switch. Fan favorite characters are waiting to meet you, and a lot of them need your help. There is just one key element missing from these games: your creative touch. It's time to craft the cutest worlds you can imagine. My Sims Kingdom is a very nostalgic game for me. I had a family member who had it on their Wii, and I borrowed it from them. And by borrow, I mean I held on to that copy for years and played it. And then finally, they were like, "Hey, can I have my
family
copy?"
borrowed?
I family borrowed, and they were finally like, "Hey, can I have my copy back?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I gave it back to them. So
It's all like scratched up
Yeah.
because you've played it over and over again.
Oh no, by the time I was borrowing games from people on my Wii, I took very good care of my games. If I
Yeah.
ever borrowed a game for my GameCube, like when that was the only console there, you probably didn't want me borrowing your games.
Yeah.
But that's then. Now I'm almost like, I don't want to borrow anything from anybody because
you don't want to ruin it.
because I don't want to risk ruining. Not that I
Yeah.
would, because I'm very careful with my stuff. But Threshold on PC from dev Julian Avil and publisher Critical Reflex. In a lonely station atop a mountain, a train rumbles its precious cargo to places unknown. Now is your shift. Keep the pace, uncover a mystery, fight for your last breath. The air is thin up here. And Tau Hao Spell Carnival, or Tu Hao, I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced, on PlayStation and Switch from Idea Factory and Compile Heart. Tau Hao Special Carnival is an officially recognized derivative work based on Tau Hao Project. Jinsokyo, a remote island isolated from the outside world where humans and yokai live side by side. One day, the Shrine Maiden of Hakure Shrine, Reimu Hakure, spots mysterious pillars towering over various locations throughout Jinsokyo. These pillars signaled the start of the Spell Carnival, a festival hosted by Yukari Yakumo, where one must put their spell cards on the line in battle. In order to investigate the true intentions of Yukari, who initiated the Spell Carnival so suddenly, Reimu Hakuri joins the fight for spell cards. And Towers of Agaspa on PS5 and PC from Dreamlit Inc. entered early access. Explore a stunning open world filled with majestic creatures and quirky characters. Nurture withered lands into vibrant ecosystems and flex your creativity as you build a thriving civilization in balance with nature. Invite friends to co-op multiplayer or craft, harvest, and cozy up together. And we got... This is just so funny because it's like I willed it into existence.
You did.
Papa's Pizzeria Deluxe on PC from Flipline Studios. Top, bake, and serve delicious pizzas in Papa's Pizzeria Deluxe. Craft pizzas for Papa Louie's loyal customers while earning tips, points, and special recipes. Unlock holiday ingredients for seasonal pies and take a trip to the food truck to serve up your own unique creations.
It's like the Papa's Bearia being released on 4K UHD with all the special features.
Dude, audio commentary on every episode. It's unprecedented in these times.
And it's Papa Louie the entire time.
Yeah.
He
He doesn't even make that noise. It's just when the next ingredient pops up in the speech bubble.
Oh, that's true.
I have played a couple days of it. I haven't had much time to play it.
What is it on?
PC. Oh, you get it on Steam. We gotta get you a new laptop, man, just so you can play these games.
Watch, it'll surprise drop on PS5. Like scroll with the gun tin, and I'll get it.
I just wouldn't know how because it's such a mouse heavy. Like I couldn't without a mouse or touch controls. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless you're just using the touchpad on the PS5 controller.
Oh, that'd be like, I'd get so mad. I'll like go to.
I cut it uneven.
It was supposed. I'm sorry. It was supposed to go 30 degrees more to the left. I didn't flick up.
Where did you go to culinary school? McRonald's house?
Hey, by the way, the McRib is back. The McRib is back, ladies and gentlemen.
There's the next Papa Louie game, Papa's Ribberia.
Ribberia. Oh.
Anyway, it's very fun. It's also very different from the original Papa's Pizzerias, even the ones that are, because there's HD and 2Go. HD is their iPad games, 2Go is their phone games. Yeah. Here lately, they've just been doing 2Go, and because phones are now to the point where they can handle HD and all that. But the mobile versions was just a step above the original. It had more customers, it had some more toppings, but there just wasn't a whole lot extra to it. This one, different crusts. I don't remember there being different crusts, and there could have been in HD, but in 2Go there wasn't. Different sauces, different cheeses, and then toppings. Like there's the seasonal stuff and all that. But anyway,
sorry, you said it's new, and all I can think of was like, does Baba Louie have a new tattoo?
Oh, you know it.
It's got on that lower back. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, Papa Louie.
Papa Louie's got a tramp stamp.
Cool Math Games childhood mascot Papa Louie got a tramp stamp. And it's just that little burger guy from the Slider Scouts. Anyway, moving on. November 20th, we had 6-sided stories on PC from Darzal Games. A short and cozy puzzler with chill lo-fi beats. Flip the puzzle pieces and color them correctly to refill the full picture. Discover how each image leads into the next, following a crew of adorable animals as they make friends and have wholesome adventures. Genshin Impact also was ported to Xbox on November 20th. Luma Island on PC from Feel Free Games. Travel to Luma Island to go on an epic adventure by yourself or with your friends and family. Build your dream farm, master professions, collect magical Lumas, find treasures, and unravel the mysteries of the island. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl on Xbox and PC from GSC Game World. Discover the vast Chernobyl exclusion zone full of dangerous enemies, deadly anomalies, and powerful artifacts. Unveil your own epic story as you make your way to the heart of Chernobyl. Make your choices wisely as they will determine your fate in the end. On November 21st, we had Cook for Love on PC and Switch from Red Deer Games. Win the hearts of Parisians with your cooking, discover delicious recipes, and become a chef worthy of working on board the Orient Express. We also got Electrogical on PC from devs Keenjo and publisher Phoenix Inc. Jigsaw Puzzle plus Arithmetic is a casual yet engaging game that appeals to puzzle gamers who enjoy immersive experiences. Customize your gameplay by rearranging piece placement, number manipulation, and score selection to aim for a high score in each stage. G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra made its way to consoles. It is already on PC. Mm-hmm. Locomotive on Switch and PC from devs Robust Games and publisher Chucklefish. On the Roos Express, a passenger has been murdered, and you're the prime suspects. Uncover a thrilling mystery and solve satisfying point-and-click puzzles to prove your innocence. A slapstick adventure packed full of deadly surprises, shocking twists, and larger-than-life characters. I started to laugh in the middle of that because I've played the demo to that, and it's a very funny game.
Okay.
Sprawl made its way to PlayStation and Xbox. Strynova on PC from iDreamSky. Strynova is an anime-style third-person tactical competitive shooter. Switch freely between 3 dimensions and 2 dimensions forms in this one-of-a-kind game that offers a unique tactical shooting system for an unparalleled experience. Co-op game Super Bunny Man also made its way to Nintendo Switch. The Devil Within Sotgot on PC and PlayStation from Newcore Games. Join Kib Rip, a royal guard whose humanity is gradually slipping away, on a thrilling 2.5D action-adventure platforming journey in The Devil Within Satgat. Uncover the mysteries of a desolate realm as you engage in stylish battles against formidable foes. November 22nd, we had Dokimon Quest on PC from Yanako RPGs. Whoa, watch out. That was close. Didn't know Dokimon were dangerous? Step into Zelos region where you'll set off on an adventure to uncover the mystery behind your missing childhood friend. And Mercury Abbey on PC from devs Yaitai Games and publisher Gamera Games. In a mansion surrounded by mist, as the curse made by the alchemist and fairy reappears, the danger is quietly lurking in the darkness, awaiting its visitors. Follow Herod and Willie to unravel an incredible story in Mercury Abbey and go on an adventure that you would only find in mystery novels. Those are my game releases for this week.
I got some posters and a ton of trailers dropped. For posters, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for the third week in a row. A lot of posters, and then all the character posters also dropped sporadically throughout the week. Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, a Minecraft movie, Alien Earth, Dream Productions, Nosferatu, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, The Bad Guys 2, which I did not know was happening.
You didn't know Bad Guys 2 was happening? They announced that like right after the first movie. Like as soon as they saw that the first movie was like an immediate success, they were like, "Oh yeah, 2 is happening."
We also got the posters for Elio and Lilo and Stitch, the live action one. For trailers and teasers, we got the final trailer for Gladiator 2, which we released this week. We got teasers for the Dungeons and Dragons, Sifu, Spelunky, and Warhammer 40k episodes of Secret Level for the second week in a row, releasing December 10th on Amazon Prime. Trailer for Apple Cider Vinegar, releasing sometime on Netflix. A Nonsense Christmas with Sabrina Carpenter for the second week in a row, releasing December 6th on Netflix. Baby Girl, releasing in Christmas in theaters. The Studio, releasing March 26th on Apple TV+. New trailer for Arcane Season 2C, which released today. A Minecraft movie, which released April 4th in theaters. Alien Earth, releases summer 2025 on Hulu. Dream Productions, releasing December 11th on Disney+. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, releasing January 3rd on Netflix. As previously mentioned, The Bad Guys 2, releasing August 1st in theaters. Elio, releasing June 13th in theaters. And Suits LA, releasing February 23rd on NBC.
Before we move on, this is an aside. Just a couple of those trailers I want to talk about. Dream Productions
Richard Ayoade
looks legitimately good, and like it's only a 4 episode. I didn't realize it. I guess we've probably talked about it before. But I didn't realize it was only 4 episodes, which is really disappointing. But also at that point, just make it a movie that goes straight to Disney, especially because it looks like there is an ongoing plot between the 4 episodes.
And like Joy and at least Anger are back.
Yeah, that joke with Anger is great.
What was it again? I forget.
Remember the sign that release form. I'll get to it, and his face is still blurred out.
I loved it.
Imagine if they just brought Inside Out back as a TV show. Like this is just their test to see, and it's just Parks and Rec, but inside a girl's mind.
Yes.
So Amy Poehler's like, I can never leave this.
She'll never leave. For release dates in Windows, they will release the Wicked sing-along screenings nationwide in theaters on December 25th. Alice in Borderlands Season 3 releases in 2025 on Netflix. Yellow Jackets Season 3 premieres on February 14th. Very excited for that. Juror Number 2 will release on Max on December 20th, and Warner Brothers are now naming the film as a Max original. For the 30th anniversary re-release, we'll be releasing in IMAX theaters for the first time to celebrate 30 years on January 3rd, and Suits LA premieres on February 23rd on NBC. For casting, Steven Spielberg's Untitled UFO movie has cast Josh O'Connor. Storm Reed says she's not returning for Euphoria Season 3. Gabriel Macht will return as Harvey Specter for a 3-episode arc on Suits LA. Pamela Hayden will retire from voicing Milhouse and Jimbo Jones after 35 years on The Simpsons.
Amongst many other characters. I think she's one of the Flanders boys.
Christopher Nolan's next movie for the second week in a row, Robert Pattinson will reunite with Nolan. For Scream 7, Isabella May has been cast as Sydney's daughter. And for the Masters of the Universe movie, Idris Elba is in early talks to star as Man-at-Arms.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Idris Elba's Man-at-Arms. Look, I'm just ready for a Masters of the Universe that can take itself seriously. I mean, not that the animated one on Netflix didn't, but like there's still a little bit of this is a continuation of the original. And look, I love He-Man. He-Man is like, my dad showed me He-Man and stuff, but it is so cheesy. And the live action,
from the little I've seen,
and it doesn't have it has the reputation now, thanks to memes and stuff. It just has the reputation now of being like that goofy show.
Oh yeah,
and it's like no, it has a lore that can be taken seriously. So you get people like Idris Elba in there.
That is all I got for my first part of Miscellaneous.
On my miscellaneous news, Donkey Kong Land was added to the Game Boy Nintendo Switch Online app on November 21st. Godzilla and Hatsune Miku DLC will arrive to Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble on November 26th. Hawkeye will be a playable character in Marvel Rivals, releasing for free alongside all characters when the game launches December 6th. A new Backyard Baseball game has entered development. The Squid Game video game will release on Netflix December 17th. Additional Star Wars content, such as The Mandalorian, will be arriving to Brawlhalla December 4th. A mobile adaptation of Final Fantasy XIV has been revealed. The MMO is launching soon. Puzzle game Spreadsheet has been announced for PC. Follows a accountant working for a chaotic finance bro company. That's the game I was talking about. It's got it's got this early 90s computer thing going on where it looks like you're on like Windows 97 or something.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know if it's in the game itself, but in the trailer there were these low poly like Johnny Bravo built dudes with big chins like standing next to a water cooler and just be like, "Hey, bro," and you get that accounting done, bro?
Oh, that'd be me.
Anyway, and then like you have a little like helper. It's clippy, like it's like a little helper.
Yeah.
So you even have a little helper, and he slides on screen and goes, "I don't know, just click boxes or something."
Me trying to figure out how to work Excel.
Roguelite stealth game Don't Wake the Beast has been announced for PC. The newest Overwatch character, Hazard, is now in early access until November 25th. He will officially release alongside Season 14. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, the upcoming mobile game, has been delayed indefinitely. And on November 19th, upcoming indie game On Your Tail was delayed from November 21st to December 16th on PC and February 2025 on Switch.
For my miscellaneous, so new looks this week. Got a new look at a Minecraft movie. Got a new behind-the-scenes look. First looks at a zombie, a skeleton, a chicken, villagers, a wolf, and an iron golem. A new look at Steve, and our first look at Dan, TDM, LD, Shadow Lady, Mambo Jumbo, and Afmau on the set.
As a child, I yearned for the mines. This movie is going to be so bad in all the right ways.
Yeah.
Like people are expecting like they'll just be bad. It's like I used to think this was going to be Borderlands level, but now after watching that trailer, I'm like, no, this is this generation's Master of Disguise.
Oh yeah.
Where they're going to grow up and be like, hey, it wasn't so bad actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all got our first clip of the Family Guy Christmas special, which is on its second week in a row. New behind the scenes look at Scarlett Johansson and Jurassic World Rebirth. New behind the scenes look at Pedro Pascal from Gladiator 2. Our Star Wars Skeleton Crew for the second week in a row. We got a new behind-the-scenes look, and a first clip was released. And this for the second week on the pod, Andor: A Star Wars Story Season 2 got a new look at. We got our first looks at a Popeye horror movie releasing in January. First look at Tom Hardy and Havoc releases in Netflix in 2025. First look still of Tron Ares, and it said will be, quote, a little grittier, a little bit more industrial. Movie compared to the previous Tron movies in theaters October 10th, 2025. First look at Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2, which will return to Skull Island. Ooh. I'm very excited for that. First look at Bob Odenkirk from Nobody 2, all bloodied up with a gun. First behind-the-scenes look at Now You See Me was revealed when it was announced that filming has wrapped on it.
Now You See Me 2 should have been called...
Now You See Me 3. Did I say Now You See Me 3?
Yeah. Now You See Me 2 should have been called Now You Don't. And then Now You See Me 3 should have been I Forgot My Keys.
Sorry, I'm back. Got our first look at The Studio, starring Seth Rogen, Catherine Hahn, Anthony Mackie, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, Ike Barinholtz, Chase Suey Wonders, Charlize Theron, Zac Efron, Ron Howard, and Martin Scorsese. First behind-the-scenes look at the live-action Moana. Dope Thief, first look at Brian Tyree Henry, Wagner Moura, and Ving Rhames. Series follows two men who pose as DEA agents to rob a house, but it turns out they robbed a large narcotics operation. Ridley Scott directed the first episode, and it releases on March 14th on Apple TV+. First look at the new political thriller series, 0 Day, follows Robert De Niro as an ex-president who oversees the response to a major attack. Angela Bassett stars as a sitting president, and Dan Stevens stars as a Tucker Carlson-like commentator, releasing February 20th on Netflix. First look at Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi in Guillermo del Toro's adaptation of Frankenstein. First behind-the-scenes look at Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson in Materialist. Film follows a love triangle involving a matchmaker, her perfect match, and an ex-boyfriend. First look at Anne Hathaway and David Lowery's Mother Man, also starring Michaela Cole, Hunter Schafer, and FKA Twigs. The epic pop melodrama follows a fictional musician and her relationship with a fashion designer. First look at Kelvin Harrison Jr. and Halle Berry in Michael Gondry's Golden follows a coming-of-age story in 1977 Virginia Beach inspired by Pharrell Williams' childhood. Also starring Divine Joy Randolph, Brian Tyree Henry, Quinta Brunson, Janelle Monáe, and Jabuki Young White. First behind-the-scenes look at Megan 2.0. First look at Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Withers in the new psychological horror Him, produced by Jordan Peele and directed by Justin Tipping, described as a horror sports movie, quote, translated through a classic spaghetti western lens. First look at The Bad Guys 2. First look at The Bad Girls, voiced by Natasha Lyonne, Maria Bakalova, and Danielle Brooks. And our first look at The Wedding Banquet remake. In box office earnings and records, Red One, for the second week in a row, opened with $34 million domestically. Gladiator 2 opened with $87 million in the international opening weekend and passed $100 million internationally by Tuesday. Anora passed $20 million, making it Sean Baker's highest-grossing film ever. Wicked earned $19.2 million in domestic previews, which, for listeners who don't know, that's Thursday night shows. Second highest preview total of 2024, earned $46 million in its domestic opening day. The highest ever for a musical adaptation, and as of this afternoon has already passed $100 million worldwide. Speaking of which, it is expected that Moana 2, Gladiator 2, and Wicked are expected to make the biggest Thanksgiving weekend in box office history with around $300 million.
Wow.
For the fifth week in a row in Glenn Powell news and J.J. Abrams' new film, Emma Mackey has been cast as a female lead, and Samuel L. Jackson is in talks to star. For the second week in a row, I honestly forgot this happened this week. We got our first poster and first trailer for the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie, featuring our first look at Toothless and Gerard Butler returning as Stoic, new look at Mason Thames as Hiccup, and then through a behind-the-scenes look, we got a first look at Nico Parker as Astrid and Julian Dennison as Fish Legs. I think all the kids, too.
Yeah.
Dean DeBlois also said about doing a live-action remake was a studio's desire, saying, quote, if they were going to do it, I wanted to make sure that it was done right. We're not trying to replace our animated original.
Which I mean, yes, and Jay, don't hate me. I have concerns. Mm-hmm. The trailer was just shot-for-shot stuff from the animated movie.
It was.
And that concerns me a little bit, where it's like, I hope you do something.
Well, and they're also like, I saw this guy bring up on TikTok. I forget who it was. If you listen out there, I'm sorry. But he said, in the trailer, he says, Hiccup says, I can't kill a dragon. And the movie, he's like, he's wanting to kill a dragon.
Yeah.
It's like, there's already that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But also after rewatching the first one, I'm like, that scene where he says that could be after he's already like bonded with Toothless. Mm-hmm. Where he goes, he can't kill a dragon. And new announcements this week, a documentary about the life and career of Vinny Jr. is in the works of Netflix. Denzel Washington reveals that The Equalizer 4 and 5 are in the works, saying, quote, they want me to go get the bad guys. Enola Holmes 3 is moving forward on Netflix. Philip Barantini will direct the film, with the take described as having a darker tone and skewing a little older. The Barrier, Austin Butler will star in and executive produce a new time travel thriller directed by Edward Berger, described as Interstellar meets Top Gun. And John Watts says that he canceled the Wolf sequel after Apple took away the first film's theatrical release and moved it straight to streaming. I threw this on new announcements because we'd previously mentioned I was getting a sequel, and I thought it was. He said, quote, I quietly returned the money they gave me for the sequel. Apple didn't cancel the Wolf sequel. I did, because I no longer trusted them as a creative partner.
So, not doing anniversaries this week because we got on Monday, we got the Game Awards 2024 nominees.
Did you know these were going to be announced?
Yes.
I had no idea.
The day we sat down to record, they announced that it was going to be coming Monday.
Like 2 days before.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, or it might have been Sunday. It might have been that like Sunday or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jay and I are going to go through. I'm going to read the nominees of each category, and then we're going to say who we think is going to win that category.
As best I can, because...
Yes, Jay might not know some of these. I might not know some of these, but... So, Game of the Year nominations: Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio. They did say that DLC was going to qualify and not be its own category, simply because they wanted because the guy in charge wanted Elden Ring. I have a sinking feeling Elden Ring might win. Like, this is their tactic to get Elden Ring to win another Game Award.
No!
Or Game of the Year. But I think Astrobot is as a high contender.
Astrobot.
I could also see Final Fantasy VII Remake. If I'm going to put my money on it, or Rebirth, if I'm going to put my money on anything, I'm going to say Astrobot. Mm-hmm. But Elden Ring and Rebirth have a big...
I just don't think a DLC...
Balatro is an indie game, so even though
saw
it got the nomination, it's also kind of running up against. It's like an underdog story.
Is that the poker one?
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
indie poker game that's caught on real fast. And the Metaphor is also just another one of the games where it's like it deserves the nomination. I don't know if it's too niche.
Yeah, and Black Wick Wukong we kind of predicted.
Yeah, we kind of predicted it would get nominated. It's the game made to be a Game of the Year nomination, and that's purely that it's the equivalent of looking at a movie and being like Oscar bait.
Me looking at the trailer for The Brutalist in front of Gladiator 2, I'm like, I want to see it, but it's Oscar bait.
All right, and best game direction, we have the same games.
Is this best director essentially?
Basically,
because you have to put these in like terms of Oscars.
Best game direction is like the way the game design and the art, like it was directed to work together and to what the experience is.
Okay.
If Astrobot doesn't win a Game of the Year, I could see it winning game direction because a lot of the choices they made were just yeah.
What else is part of it?
Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasy.
Oh, the same thing?
It's the same exact things as Game of the Year. But yeah, so I would also once again say Astrobot can win that award. Best ongoing game, Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2.
Are these like sequel?
Sequel ongoing game, it's like an online game that's constantly having updates to it. I would guess Fortnite would win because of the stuff it's been doing here lately with the Lego and the
Marvel
and the Disney thing that's happening soon.
Yeah.
I could see it winning for that reason. It's also the only one other than Final Fantasy 14 where I've seen any of the updates actually talked about. Mm-hmm. Helldivers 2 might win because earlier in the year it was such a big thing, but it quickly dropped off, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Best art direction, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor Refantasio, and Neva. Astrobot or Neva would be the two I would pick to win.
What's Neva?
Neva's that one I showed you where it was like the girl and her wolf. Best mobile game, AFK Journey, Balatro, Wuthering Waves, Zinless Zone Zero, and Pokemon TCG Pocket.
I have no clue.
Maybe Pokemon. But
clue.
Balatro is also very, very high in the running. Best narrative, that's just narrative.
Yeah, that's story.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refantasio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
No Astrobot?
Yeah, Astrobot's story was... Yeah, anyway, I won't make fun of it. I'm going to guess Silent Hill 2 might win it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also high in the running. I would like Metaphor to win. Yeah. Because I think we've talked about it before. It's a game that has a statement to make and it does it very well.
Yeah.
So I would love for it to win, but it'll probably be one of the remakes. So yeah. Best performance. This is just overall actor and actress. It's just Brianna White as Aerith in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hannah Tell as I don't remember the character's name in Life is Strange Double Exposure, Humberly Gonzalez in Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts as James in Silent Hill 2, and Melina Jurgens in Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Is that the main character from Star Wars Outlaws?
I think so. I would guess Silent Hill 2 is going to be another winner for that one. That would be my guess.
I mean, Star Wars Outlaws is the only one I know. I know of Silent Hill 2, but...
And Brianna White as Aerith, she did a good job in remake, and I imagine she did really good in rebirth. I mean, she got nominated, but anyway. Best score in music: Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor Refantasio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade.
Ooh.
Astrobot has a good chance with that, but
because don't they incorporate the various game scores?
Now that's a different.
Oh, that's a different thing.
That's there's best score and there's best audio.
Okay.
Best score, I could see Astrobot winning because there's a lot of good music, but also Silent Hill 2's music is really good. So. Best audio, Astrobot, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Astrobot is the only choice for this, in my opinion. The way the audio design works for the controller, half the sounds are from the controller. If you turn the controller off, you're not getting the same experience.
Yeah.
So best adaptation,
Oh, this is
This is something based on a video game. Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft. Obviously, Knuckles, The Flames of Disaster.
You took my dadgummit, I was going to say the same
It's
exact
The Flames of Disaster. Arcane or Fallout. Those are the two. Those are the two.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough of Like a Dragon, and then Tomb Raider. I've heard. I mean, it got renewed pretty fast, so it must have been pretty good. But Arcane and Fallout are the two that I've heard nonstop about. Except that Arcane just came out, so Fallout might have a leg above it because of that.
It's been out
because Arcane
February?
Season 2 has only been out for like a couple weeks. It came out basically.
I think it's literally 3 weeks ago.
It came out basically in time to be nominated. So, yeah. Best multiplayer: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Tekken 8. Helldivers and Mario Party are the two in the running for that, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Best independent game: we have Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. Animal Well. That is the one. If I'm going to choose one, Balatro and Animal Well. If Balatro doesn't win mobile game, it might win this. But Animal Well is also like everyone's raving about it. Mm-hmm. Like Balatro is addictive if that's your thing, and like it caught on for a reason and has all these collaborations with it.
Yeah.
But Animal Well is the one that is just like everyone's like, holy crap, this is good. Best debut indie game, so best game from a debut company or like first game from a company: Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and Plucky Squire. Ooh. It's probably going to be Balatro. Plucky Squire might
That's what I was
and Animal
to.
Well are also in the running, but it's going to be Balatro.
Yeah.
Most anticipated game: Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghosts of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds. Grand Theft Auto 6 is probably going to win the award.
That's what I'm thinking.
Monster Hunter Wilds is also right behind there, but
to me, Ghosts of Yotai. Personally,
to me, it's Metroid Prime 4. That's the one I'm most excited about. But now that I have a PS5, though, Monster Hunter Wilds. Best role-playing game: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Air Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. Unfortunately, I think Elden Ring is probably going to win, but Final Fantasy VII or Metaphor deserve the win. Games for Impact: Closer the Distance.
What does that mean?
Games for Impact are like it's telling an impactful story, or it's it did something to bring light to something impactful. Like it did something impactful.
Yeah.
Closer the Distance, Indika, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua Saga Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera Zao. I have no idea.
I don't know any of those.
And then we have Best Content Creator: Case O, Eojon,
Queso,
Techno Games, Typical Gamer, and Usada Pecora. Usada Pecora is the only one I know that's a VTuber.
Queso's the fat guy with a beard.
Oh.
That's just like, he is like screaming while he's playing Subnautica.
Best Action Adventure: we have Astrobot, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Could win. Silent Hill 2 could win. I don't think Astrobot's going to win Best Action Adventure.
No, it's not.
No.
Because I want Astrobot to sweep.
I would love Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, but it's up against Silent Hill 2 and then Prince of Persia, which got critical acclaim. So like,
yeah.
And then whereas Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom was like, everyone was like, it's great. And then they moved on. So
yeah.
Best Action Game: we have Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, and Stellar Blade.
I haven't played any of these.
I could see Helldivers 2 winning. It could be Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. That one could go either way. We're starting to get into the ones I don't know as much about. Best Fighting Game: we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. I can tell you what's not going to win, and it's going to be Multiverses.
Dadgummit.
It deserves the nomination, but it did have a rocky year. Like if a rocky first year of a lot of people like dipping out, and like I want to go back and play season 4, but I did not touch season 3. Yeah. So it's like I could see Tekken 8 winning. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I've heard a lot of good things about, so that could win. If I'm going to put my money on anything, I would say Tekken 8. Innovation in accessibility is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. I couldn't tell you. Best community support, so best amount of players making mods for the game. Like, what game has the best support for that?
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. Baldur's Gate 3 better win because the mods for that are hilarious.
Yeah.
Now here we go. This is the one that's going to be a huge toss-up between any of these games.
Astrobot.
Best family game: Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. Astrobot and Mario Party Jamboree, I think, are neck and neck with that.
Yeah.
We also have Best Sim and Strategy Game: Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kinutsugami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. Best Sports and Racing: F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Topspin 2K25, and WWE 2K24. Best VR AR game: we have Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. Maybe Batman. We have Best Esports game: Counter-Strike, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Valorant. Maybe League of Legends. It could be a toss-up with any of those. All of those are huge. And then we have the two that I know absolutely nothing about. I'm not even going to give you a guess of a guess. Best Esports Athlete, 33, Alex B, or Alexi B, Chovy, Faker, Zaiwu, and Zim JJKK. Is going to be how I'm going to try to pronounce that.
It's going to be 33.
And then we have Best Esports Team. We have Billy Gaming for League of Legends, Gen G for League of Legends, Navi for Counter-Strike, T1 for League of Legends, and Team Liquid for Dota 2. It'll probably be a League of Legends team.
Do you think the League of Legends is then going to win?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So that is those are the nominations. Those are our guesses. I did have 2 anniversaries this week, I guess I'll mention. It's the 20th anniversary on the November 19th of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie and the 20th anniversary of the Nintendo DS on November 21st.
Yes.
And now am I off on to anime?
I have some celebrity birthdays.
You do have some celebrity birthdays?
Week.
Thank goodness my voice can take a rest.
Yes. On Sunday, November 17th, we got the birthday of Batman Returns, Matilda, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia legend, 80th birthday of Danny DeVito. We also got the 46th birthday of Rachel McAdams from Mean Girls, The Notebook, and Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. And the 82nd birthday of legendary director behind Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, and The Wolf of Wall Street, and also Shark Tale actor Martin Scorsese. Monday, November 18th, saw the 56th birthday of Owen Wilson from Cars, Wedding Crashers, Night at the Museum, and the 42nd birthday of Damon Wayans Jr. from Let's Be Cops and New Girl. Tuesday, November 19th, saw the... I didn't get his age in here. Adam Driver from Girls and Marriage Story and Kylo Ren in Star Wars. 62nd birthday of Jodie Foster from Silence of the Lambs and True Detective Night Country. 63rd birthday of Meg Ryan from You Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, and When Harry Met Sally. And the 65th birthday of Allison Janney from Mom, The West Wing, and I, Tonya. Wednesday, November 20th, saw the 82nd birthday of U.S. President Joe Biden. 53rd birthday of Joel McHale from Community and Animal Control. And the 61st birthday of Ming-Na Wen from Mulan and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thursday, November 21st, saw the 79th birthday of Goldie Hawn from Overboard, Death Becomes Her, and the First Wives Club, as well as the 53rd birthday of former NFL player and turned news anchor and game show host Michael Strahan. Friday, November 22nd, saw the 40th birthday of Scarlett Johansson from Sing and Lost in Translation and the MCU's Black Widow, as well as the 57th birthday of Mark Ruffalo, 13 going on 30, and Shutter Island star in the MCU's second Hulk, the 66th birthday of Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween, Freaky Friday, and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and the 59th birthday of Mads Mikkelsen from Hannibal and Casino Royale, among many others. And Saturday, November 23rd, saw the 32nd birthday of Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana star, turned award-winning singer, and the 34th birthday of Damien from Smosh. I think we can get through anime this week. Without.
We got a first look at the popcorn bucket of the Lord of the Rings Battle of Rohirrim, the 27-inch Warhammer replica. Yes. I showed that to my dad, expecting him to be like, well, that's just ridiculous. And he went, sweet.
I'm going to get it.
So I'm like, well, because we're planning on watching at the Alamo. I'm like, I don't know if the Alamo is going to have that.
It's usually an AMC or Regal thing.
Star Wars Visions is officially receiving a 3rd season. The anthology series will release new episodes from studios such as David Production, known for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Cells at Work, Kamikaze Duga, known for Pop Team Epic and Batman Ninja, Kinema Citrus Co., known for Mated Abyss and Rising of the Shield Hero, Polygon Pictures, known for Ghost in the Shell Innocence, and Star Wars The Clone Wars. They did animation for that. Production IG, known for various Ghost in the Shell projects, Psycho Pass, and the animated sections of Kill Bill Volume 1. Project Studio Q, a debut studio, so couldn't find anything that they've made yet. Studio Trigger, known for Kill la Kill and Little Witch Academia, amongst many others. And Wit Studio, known for seasons 1 through 3 of Attack on Titan and Spy Family. A sequel to King of Prism is in development. The final volume of My Hero Academia, including 38 pages of new content after the final chapter, will release December 4th. I don't know if that's an English release as well. I doubt it. It usually takes them a little longer to get over here. Konomi Master, based on the novels by Hanyu and Yasutaka Isakawa, will premiere January 7th, 2025. The full title is Failure Skill Berry Master, the story of how he became able to eat an unlimited number of skill fruit that kill you if you eat them. The story of the series follows Light Underwood.
We're back. We're back.
We're back. Same bit as last week.
Yep.
The story of the series follows Light Underwood, a young man who wants to become the greatest adventurer in history. Unfortunately, after he consumes a skill fruit, he acquires the Berry Master skill, which has no combat application which is only useful for cultivating fruit. Nevertheless, Light wishes to catch up with his childhood friend Lena, who ate the Sword Saint fruit, so he dedicates his days to farming and training with a sword. One day, Light accidentally eats another skill fruit, which is supposed to be fatally poisonous if someone has already consumed a previous skill fruit, but instead Light gains the Sword God skill. Tsukasa Hojo's manga Cat's Eye is receiving a new anime adaptation in 2025. The original adaptation of Cat's Eye aired in 1983. Disney's manga and mobile game Twisted Wonderland is to receive a 3-season anime adaptation premiering in October 2025 on Disney+. It was originally greenlit in 2021. The only way I can describe... I own one of the manga volumes. The only way I can describe the plot is... Imagine if you get whisked away to Hogwarts, but all the houses are Disney villains.
Ooh.
And then it's
like
just
Maleficent and then like the Wicked Witch, or not Wicked Witch.
Maleficent and Scar and Ursula and all them, but instead of it being actual Disney characters, it's just a bunch of pretty anime boys like going to school. Like it's a like a high school drama, like Hogwarts. How do we get you home? You stay away from me, you stupid idiot. Anyway. An anime adaptation of Natsume Noguchi's supernatural comedy manga Deacon no Magura has been announced for July 2025. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun has announced a 4th season. Season 2 of Himitsu no Aiprai has been announced. And an Anne of Green Gables anime adaptation titled Anne Shirley has been announced for April 2025. Apparently, according to my research, Anne of Green Gables is very, very popular in Japan. Like it was adapted or was translated to English in like the 50s, and it's just been a classic since then.
I've like never seen Anne of Green Gables, but like every time I bring it up, people are like, I love that show. Or every time it's brought up, I'm like, on my comic side, on DC, we got some Lanterns news. James Gunn said it will release around the same time as Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow in June of 2026. The Penguin, for the 13th week in a row, Season 1, will be releasing on 4K, UHD, and Blu-ray in February of next year. Creature Commandos, for the 2nd week in a row, Alan Tudyk will voice Clayface. Peacemaker Season 2, for the 2nd week in a row, we got our first look at Big Belly Burger. Daniel Craig is in talks to star as Sergeant Rock in a film for DC Studios, with Luca Guadagnino set to direct the film. I don't know who that is.
Neither do I.
You could have told me it was like Sergeant Rock, and I would not have known it was DC.
We're going to start getting the Kraven the Hunters of the DC universe.
Yep. Superman, for the 3rd week in a row, first trailer will reportedly release in mid-December. It is expected to appear in theaters alongside Mufasa the Lion King. And in the DCU, James Gunn says all of Peacemaker Season 1 is canon to the DCU, except the Justice League appearance, and anything referenced in the upcoming shows will be canon as well. So I'm like, basically whatever you want.
Yeah, he's just picking what he wants. I think he said in the interview, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah, he literally said that. He said, quote, we will kind of deal with that in the next season. And then he said, multiple R-rated DC projects are being developed, saying, quote, whatever rating is worthy of the story, that's what we're going to do. In Marvel side of news, missed from last week, if you were like Stumpy, and you were counting whenever we said, Denzel Washington said he has 5 upcoming things, and we only mentioned 4, and we never brought up a 5th one. Because I forgot to mention, he Brian Coogler is writing a role for him in Black Panther 3. Deadpool and Wolverine for the second week in a row became the #1 movie on Disney Plus, and it debuted with 19.4 million views on the streaming service in its first 6 days of streaming. First look at Danny Ramirez as the Falcon in the Captain America: The Brave New World for the second week in a row. For the third week in a row, we got some Daredevil Born Again news. It will be set a few years after the original Daredevil series, saying, quote, "In that time, Matt, Foggy, and Karen have found a pretty good rhythm. Matt's made peace with his role both as a lawyer and a vigilante." For Avengers Secret Wars, Kevin Feige says it will, quote, "really lead us into the new age of mutants and of the X-Men," saying, quote, "Again, it's one of those dreams come true. We finally have the X-Men back." And speaking of Kraven the Hunter, for the third week in a row, director J.C. Chandor hopes the films may wash away some of the negative reactions to the Sony Universe Marvel characters, saying, quote, "Give our film a chance." Yeah, Stumpy. Give our film a chance.
I was just saying when I made the equivalent of, hey, we're going to get the Kraven the Hunters, I was trying to say, we're starting to give random characters movies that could have just been villains or cameos in another movie.
That's all I got for my comics news. And celebrity deaths this week, we only got 4 of them. Paul Teal, he was 35. He was a One Tree Hill actor. Saphir, her rapper and Menace to Society actor, was 54. Dennis Bryan was 76, former Bee Gees drummer. It was actually, he died last week on November 14th, but this week, Colin Smiley Peterson was 78. He was the original Bee Gees drummer. Died, but I believe within like 4 days of each other.
That's crazy.
Which is sad. Yeah. My sources this week were Deadline, Movie Insider, Famous Birthdays, New York Post, comicbook.com, Bloody Disgusting, The Playlist, Vanity Fair, Empire, Collider, Variety, E! Online, Hollywood Reporter, Esquire, comicbook.com, The Wrap, The Globe and Mail, and, of course, Discussing Film.
I want to thank my sources this week: Polygon, IGN, Discussing Film, Crunchyroll, and all official sites and socials of the studios mentioned today. On to the game for this week.
Yes, our last episode of November.
Yes, and our last game of the month. Jay, I wanted to get you a little something together because, I don't know, I just thought it was a really fun idea. And I didn't expect you to win most of the games this month, so I was like...
I didn't expect to win. Try not to laugh, trivial.
So I was like, this will be the one time that Jay gets a win, and I'm just hosting the game, but never mind. Not to sound like I don't believe in my best friend or anything, but...
He doesn't. He wishes for my failure off screen.
We'll bring this up at couples therapy. Stop it.
So do that scene from Smosh Games where Shay's like reaching out and Courtney goes, boo, and he goes,
I call this Stumpy's Wikipedia game. I couldn't think of a cool game. So what it is I have 10 pairs of 2 topics. One of each pair has a Wikipedia article to itself. The other either doesn't at all and is only mentioned on a page or is a part of a list of page.
Did you say the last one's going to be too easy? Might be too easy.
The last one might be too easy for you, but I tried to do a good balance of like different like characters, songs, episodes.
Yeah,
and I also tried to do a good balance of stuff you might actually be interested in. So you might go like, oh hey,
that should have enough of a thing to it.
So
dare I say enough girth?
So, but yeah, that's the basic. I'm going to list 2 things. One of them has a Wikipedia page to itself, and the other does not.
Okay. We
have Weird Al songs. We have Living with a Hernia, and Girls Just Want to Have Lunch.
See, here's where I'm playing mind games with myself. Do I want to go with the one that I can clearly think of the parody for, like what it's parodying, or do I want to go with the one that I have no idea? Like, obviously, if I want to go with a bigger one, it's... What was the second one?
Girls Just Want to Have Lunch.
Girls Want to Have Lunch is Cyndi Lauper's Girls Want to Have Fun. You say Living with a...
Hernia.
Hernia?
Parody of Living in America.
Oh.
Living in America.
Well, still, I would think that's... I would think Girls Want to Have Fun would be, like, more known than James Brown. But I'm going to go against my gut and say Hernia.
That is correct.
Nice.
Girls Just Want to Have Lunch does not have a Wikipedia article. Now we have Mario characters.
Okay.
Bowser Jr. or Rabid Peach.
Here's the thing again. Do I want to go random and go against my gut? Because my gut obviously thinks Bowser Jr. would.
The secondary antagonist to the series.
But I'm like, would you do that 2 times in a row? Rabid Peach.
That is correct. Rabbid Peach.
Are you serious?
Rabbid Peach has a Wikipedia article, has appeared in 3 games, 2 of which being in Mario and Rabbids and 1 of which being a cameo in Just Dance. And Bowser Jr., the secondary antagonist of the franchise for the past 20 years, is just in the list of Mario characters article.
Okay. I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together with the rabbit as in the white rabbits. I thought you meant like Peach was like had rabies.
No, it's like the
and
Rabbids.
now I realize what you're talking about. Okay.
But yeah, is that not crazy?
That is insane.
So now we're moving on to King of Queens episodes. Does the pilot have a article to itself, or does the series finale China Syndrome have an article to itself?
I want to go with my gut and say China Syndrome because they brought up, I think that's when she brought up she couldn't have kids or something like that. Also, it was like a 2-parter.
That is correct.
China Syndrome?
It is also the only King of Queens episode to have an article to itself.
Nice.
Next, we have SpongeBob characters. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy or Gary the Snail?
See, I'm going to go back against my gut and say Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
That is correct.
Nice.
Gary the Snail.
Am I doing better than you thought I would?
No, you're doing about as well as I expected.
well?
But these are just, I think this is very interesting.
Yeah. That's like Bowser Jr. again.
Right? Where it's like, Gary, this really? But, I mean, to be fair, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were voiced by Ernest Borgnine and Tim Conway. So that's like a big... Next, we have Uncharted characters.
Oh,
Chloe Frazer or Victor Sullivan?
You make me hate myself. I think Chloe Frazer because... Oh, wait, no, hold on. I'll say because she was in the movie.
So Chloe Frazer or Sully has a Wikipedia article to themselves.
I feel like both should.
Both probably should, yeah.
But I think it'll be Chloe because she actually was the playable character in her own game.
That is correct.
There we go.
Next, we have Friends episodes. The one with the Holiday Armadillo or the one with the Princess Leia fantasy?
I'm going to say Holiday Armadillo.
That is incorrect.
Dadgummit.
The one with the Princess Leia fantasy has a Wikipedia article.
Dadgummit.
So right now, Jay is...
5 for 6.
Yeah, 5 for 6. Next, we have Looney Tunes characters. Hugo the Abominable Snowman or Slowpoke Rodriguez?
Is Hugo the big red dude?
No, Hugo is the one that's like, I'm going to love you and squeeze you and call you George.
Okay, so I haven't seen either one of these. What was the other one?
Slowpoke Rodriguez, Speedy Gonzalez's cousin. Who's
the
super
tiny
slow.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say Slowpoke.
Hugo the Abominable Snowman. Next, we have Disney songs. Why Should I Worry from Oliver and Company or This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Here's what it should be. This is Halloween. However, Why Should I Worry? Is that not Billy Joel?
That is Billy Joel, yes.
I'm going to say Billy Joel.
That is incorrect. This is Halloween.
I did so good on the first half of this game.
So far, you're 5 for 8.
Oh, dadgummit.
Next, we have VeggieTales episodes.
Oh, I'm not going to know this.
Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed or The Star of Christmas?
Rumor Weed.
That is incorrect. The Star of Christmas. And finally, Jay is 5 for 9. If you can get 6 for 10, that technically counts as a passing grade.
What happened to me?
We have Parks and Rec characters. Does Craig Middlebrooks have a Wikipedia article to himself?
Is the other one going to be...
Jean-Ralphio Saperstein?
Jean-Ralphio?
Jean-Ralphio Saperstein. Jean-Ralphio Saperstein. Or Craig Middlebrooks.
Craig, he was in the opening credits of the last season, I believe. Craig.
Jean-Ralphio.
Are you kidding me?
Are
you kidding me?
Jean-Ralphio Saperstein has
his own page. That makes sense.
But Craig Middlebrooks, who is a main character, like a starring character of the show in the last season, does not. So Jay got 5 out of 10.
Okay, that last one makes sense. I should have gone my gut, and I should have said Jean-Ralphio because he's more iconic.
You should have gone with your gut with Jean-Ralphio, and you
should
should have gone
Henry Winkler.
Yeah,
and his sister is, I forget her name.
And then you also should have gone with your gut on Disney songs.
I should have.
The others,
Halloween.
I didn't figure you might know.
I was like Nightmare Before Christmas versus Billy Joel.
Yeah. So that is our episode. I'm going to say, Jay, you still won that somewhat. Maybe we'll bring that game back again.
You know what?
That took a lot of research because there was a lot of things. I'm like, not every one of these is going to have a Wikipedia article, and then every one of I originally was going to do Taylor Swift songs, and literally every song on her discography list has a Wikipedia article.
It's because we
even if she sang a little ditty on a commercial or something, it had a Wikipedia article. So
did even the T-Pain one where she rapped early on?
I believe so.
Serious?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I'm looking at all these. I'm like, every one of these songs I've never heard of has a Wikipedia article, and a lot of them were also covers. So that made sense because the original song would have. And I didn't count like, a cover doesn't have a Wikipedia article to itself. That doesn't count because
you're talking about Babe.
Yes,
I was actually wrote that.
Anyway,
that's Jay's Taylor Swift lesson is over.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those interaction things. If you liked what you heard this week, be sure to follow us on whatever you were listening to us on. Follow the podcast on most social medias at Mondays for Nerds. Follow me on most social medias, Tristan Stump, at Sir Stumpsalot or at Sir Stumpsalot17.
Follow me on X or Blue Sky at Poe the Panda 001.
You are losing points for calling it X.
Oh, shoot. Dadgummit. Dadgummit.
And on that note, we will see you guys next time.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
I brought it back.
Yeah, you brought it back. Point back. Point back. Yeah.
There we go.
Never call it X again.
I never do. Why did the one time? Go to bed tonight thinking of Papa Louie's lower back tattoo.
Papa Louie's tramp stamp. Flipline Studios, email us for that. For
a cease and desist.
Please stop. Never play our games again.
Never play again. You're like, no.
You hooked us with the bear. You lost us at the tramp stamp.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.